Hi, my name is Patricia Omishakin, and I am a real estate advisor with eXp Realty here in the Middle Tennessee area. And in today's video, I will be talking about 7 tips, 7 things that we can do to make your offer stand out and be more competitive in today's market as a buyer. Any offer that you make that hit these 7 tips, these 7 points, will make you stand out in the market and make you hopefully more appealing, more interesting to the seller. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1, make sure that you're providing your pre-approval letter with the offer. And that's kind of a given in today's market for the last couple of years now, that you always want to put your best foot forward, and that involves including a pre-approval letter. And you want to make sure when you're working with your lender, because some of those they use that term interchangeably, pre-approval, pre-qualification, there's kind of a difference. So basically you want to get as far along as you can in the process to where they're actually your pay stubs, your W-2s, they verified your employment, they've verified those documents. It's not you just calling and saying, here's how much I make, and based off of that, you want them to actually verify that information. If they've done that, then that's more of a pre-approval, and that holds more weight when you're going to make an offer. Also, some people are paying cash. So if you're in a situation where you can pay cash, make sure that you're including your proof of funds with that letter. Tip number 2 is increasing your earnest money. Typically for earnest money, we see 1%. So for a house that costs $300,000, you would put 1% of that would be $3,000. In today's market, in order to be a little bit more competitive, you can up that to 2% or even 3%. I've seen where people are offering a lot more earnest money up front, and also some of them are releasing those funds to the seller as soon as maybe they pass the inspection period, and they kind of know that things are going in the right path and they're going to offer buy the home. And some are even, they won't release all, they might release a portion, and some will make a portion of it non-refundable. So if they do walk away from the deal, that the seller gets to keep some of it. So those are just some things that buyers are doing in today's market to stay competitive. Tip number 3 is minimal contingencies. One of the things we're seeing in today's market is that buyers are waiving their right to a home inspection. That's a pretty risky endeavor. I mean, people are doing it and it's working for them, but some people are doing it and it's coming back to bite them. You know, they're getting buyer's remorse because once they move in, they uncover something that they didn't realize. So my recommendation is to do a pass-fail. So you do the home inspection and either it passes and you move forward with the transaction, or it fails and you walk away, and there is no repairs involved. But there are other contingencies that can be waived as well. So home inspection is just one of them. Tip number 4, offer above asking price. In today's market, depending on where you live, I have seen everything run the gamut. I'm here in the Nashville market, and I have heard $100,000, I've heard $300,000, I've heard $500,000 over asking being thrown out there. And a lot of deals in the Nashville area, I'm hearing too, are cash. It's very hard for buyers to be competitive when you have cash offers that are $500,000 over asking, and also we're in a market where investors are swooping up a lot of the inventory as well. So whatever you can do to stay competitive, you don't want to obviously go, you want to evaluate that and see how much you can afford and, stay within a certain limit. Tip number 5, shorten the timelines. For example, so for a home inspection, a typical home inspection period is 10 or 14 days. In this competitive market, you want to shorten that as much as possible. In some cases, I'm seeing as short as 5 days for that contingency. So basically any contingencies that you do have, you want to make them as short as possible, or ask the seller, have your agent ask the seller, what is the seller looking for? Try to meet their needs basically and make your offer more attractive that way. Tip number 6 is to offer a portion of the closing cost. I know this is a seller's market, so So, and back when we were a buyer's market, the seller would be paying all the closing costs. They would be paying their closing costs and the buyer's closing costs. Now that we're in a seller's market, buyers paying their own closing costs. So, and I've seen cases where buyers are also willing to pay some of the seller's closing costs. So that's also an option if you have the means, the funds to do that, and it'll make your offer stand out more and more competitive. By all means, give that one a shot. And lastly, tip number 7, hire an experienced real estate agent. I think that is very key. You want someone who is knowledgeable and who is up to date with what's going on in the market, that's keeping up with the current stats and what's happening in the market, and somebody who's familiar with the market in the area where you're choosing to buy. So thank you for watching. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you get notified next time I drop a video. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.